Okay, so I've just caught Celine Dion's concert in Singapore last night, and I'm just so inspired. Yesterday, watching her live, all my memories came flooding back, including my singing lessons, when I first started learning singing, taking lessons, and trying very hard to sing all those free, soaring high notes. So today, I thought I'd just like to share some insights on how to get vocal placement as high as Miss Celine Dion, or how she sounds like how she does. So to make sure there's no misunderstanding, I have to clarify that everyone has a different tone, and I'm not teaching anybody here to imitate Miss Celine Dion's tone unless you want to make a living as a voice impersonator. I definitely have a very, very different tone from Miss Celine Dion, but as a singer, I think it's good to explore the different kinds of sounds that you can produce so that you can offer more to your listeners. And imitation is one of the best ways to learn or to get some insights into certain singing techniques. I'm going to try to get a sound as close as possible. I'm sure that most people, when asked to describe Miss Celine Dion's voice, will agree that she has a more nasal tone by common standards. First of all, Celine Dion is from Canada, Quebec, and they speak French. French as a language by itself is more nasal.
Écouter Rihanna ou Adele ou Bruno Mars, j'écoute de temps en temps des chanteurs qui me fascinent, que j'aime beaucoup.
And even when she speaks in English, the voice placement remains.
When I was singing them, I understood they were becoming hits. And I saw them as hits.
If I can describe one characteristic of her singing, I have to say that she has a very narrowed aryepiglottic sphincter for singing. To give you an insight into AES and how you can use it to sing high notes powerfully, commonly known as belting, you can check out my son again. You can see that when he cries or tries to cry, he tries to press his sound out of his face. When you try to imitate a baby crying, the feeling is you are trying to press your voice out of your face from behind your nose. And you can do it by using the sound NG as a starting point. Say it. Which is also commonly used by children when they want to do their number 2. You should feel a strong buzzing on your nose and then say nga, 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 nga. Can you hear an exceptionally bright tone? Now let's sing one part of her song with nga as the beginning. I'll be waiting for you. This position, this vocal placement that is so high, it actually makes singing very comfortable and even easy for the high notes because they just slide off her face. That's why it's commonly used in belting top 40s, for example. This technique is commonly known as the twang, and it is bright and very in your face. And just so you truly get the idea, one singer who has a very, very, very contracted AES is Duffy.
You got me begging you for mercy. Why won't you release me? You got me begging you for mercy.
So in terms of Miss Celine Dion singing, it is not just about the narrowed AES, but it is also about the fact that she has such a very high vocal placement reflected by a very lifted soft palate, or commonly known as opening your throat, even when she sings very low notes like these. The soft palate is actually really, really lifted, and if you don't lift it, it's gonna sound like hard to be sure. The voice is just trapped here compared to hard to be sure. And obviously for very high notes as well. But all in all, it is a very fantastic balance of her breath support and her vocal placement. Many people think that they have to push more to sing the high notes up. So in many ways, they would be doing this. I'll be waiting for you. But if you use the AES and you place your vocals really high, I'll be waiting for you. Therefore, if you know how to use AES correctly, you can sound very powerful for your high notes. So in summary, the twang is actually one technique that can give you your bang for your buck, because with very little effort, you can produce a very loud sound for projection. Just a reminder that this is not about mastering one technique to conquer all the high notes out there. You still have to master your fundamentals and your basics before you apply this technique on top of it. If you don't master your fundamentals correctly, it may backfire and you may end up hurting your vocal cords instead. For my thoughts on the concert, wow, it was easily one of the best concerts I've ever caught in my life. Interestingly, it is a first time to Singapore. The sound system was so good. I'm so grateful that it was actually at the Sands Ballroom of Marina Bay Sands and not at the indoor stadium or national stadium, which were not built for concerts. Anyway, thank you MBS for bringing her in. If I can ask Celine Dion about her concert in Singapore, I would ask why she was using a wired microphone. I was just so worried that she'd trip over or get tangled up, but of course she didn't. She's a total professional. One other surprising thing for me was when I look at the big screen, I could see that she was holding a microphone that looked like a Shure SM58, which is totally professional but not quite what I would expect for a diva level. But then maybe it goes back to the principle that it's not always about the equipment, it also is about the sauce. It's always about the sauce. Okay, so that's all I have for now. So please subscribe to this channel and give me a comment to let me know if you managed to get a Celine Dion sound.